much earlier in the year. It's 4-8. I saw an article where a Caucasian woman dressed in black was compensated. She lived alone. She was being sexually assaulted, but it was done. She must have got maybe £38,000 or more. So I've been asking the police, I've been asking lawyers. This case, could someone just tell me where it is? That's all I'm asking. Could someone just tell me about it? Because I actually have a terrorist who lives next door, who actually responds to people passing by telling him. It's actually not other people's doing. Let me not even blame people who come by and talk about voyeurism and upscaling. I reported it once. I don't know how it's done. I don't know how it's happening to me. The very same thing that woman was going through. Except mine has beatings, electrocution. I had this eyebrow disappear last year. It's probably the beginning of winter. Around there, October. This guy practices witchcraft too. So he's using technology. He's using witchcraft. He's using the community. AI affects us all so badly. 5G networks are so strong. That's all I know so far. I remember I actually called the ambulance for myself twice to go and get checked out as an emergency. I thought something was happening to my legs. But this guy will actually call people to demonstrate. I was so intimidated in 2024. He was calling people through his doors. Apparently, the flat he's living in is not his. Apparently, got access to that flat as a squatter. Called on a job to terrorize me. They were quite discreet at first. But because of the witchcraft aspect, and because I was praying, I was on my journey to becoming married. So a lot of things were being revealed to me about this community. So I found out that I was working with a witch. She offered me food one day. Sometimes I had to stand outside in prayer. I've since seen that, and it wasn't just like praying. I could just stand there and sing in my heart. But then because they used the witchcraft aspect, they found out that sometimes I have moments where I can overhear their conversations. And so they use technology. They were already hacking me. They were already breaking into my flat. I didn't know. And so they were using technology against me. Greetings to all of you as you come in. So, with their hackings, they found my secret writings where I was writing whatever promises God had for me and still has for me. And they started learning the scriptures to violate me, to delete any hope. They learned the scripture that says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. And they decided to defer my hope in every way to cause me delay. I'm really going to try not to cry because I'm more angry than anything. Lately, Zubir started threatening my life. Yeah, this can happen to anyone. Lately, Zubir started threatening my life. I have been married since. apparently he's shifted this to be for him to stop in 2023. Apparently, I caught wind eventually that for him to stop abusing me, violating me, I had to be married. Actually, yes, in 2023. So I got in the relationship. When I had exchanged numbers with someone, any chance I got, I would go and sleep with him instead of feeling the violation of him lodging some sort of invisible force in my groin and buzzing me any time, any day. If I put in something to block the technology, it would bulge in my knickers, and I'm not a lesbian. That was so uncomfortable and disgusting. I wouldn't even put it inside me just to cover, as if you're wearing a panty liner. This is so degrading that I have to actually share this, but I have to, because no one is giving me information about this case that a woman won in England, in the United Kingdom. She was being sexually violated, living alone. Someone was reaching her at a distance, from a distance. In 2025, well, in the last few years, technology has developed so fast. From 3G networks, remember when the internet was a bit slower? 3G, 4G. When I moved into my flat in RM7, the guy who's actually violating me lives in flat 4, right next to me. Apparently, my flat could possibly have been traced somehow. I only remember accommodating someone I used to refer to as a cousin. He was a student for student architects. I may have given him my keys once. If I was ever tempted to give them to someone else or give them to the neighbors, that could be my misfortune. If he ever meddled with them, because he did touch witchcraft a bit. If he ever meddled with the technology and shared the ideas with this guy. Because now, when he first was here, he used to walk around the communal grounds. His t-shirt, trousers, like he was just roaming. So it didn't look like he lived here. It just used to look like he was sneaking in through the back doors. But he eventually got a job. His partner in crime had already lied to me at some point that they were married. Little did I know they were hired thugs against my life for me never to meet a certain someone. So the guy who I housed as a cousin, he has another cousin. We have no blood between us, and we were in a relationship. So those two guys, that couple that were pretending to be married and owning that flat, were hired to stop us from ever meeting. And our cousin was in a relationship with his ex-wife. Follow me? So I was in a relationship with this guy, quite rich. But his cousin was in a relationship with another girl. So that girl, let's call her L, that girl got introduced to my boyfriend by a witch. If you go through my profile, you'll see I posted the pictures. So between the three of them, the introducer, the cousin, and his girlfriend, who became my boyfriend's wife, they all did some sort of witchcraft. So then, with The neighbors who were squatters getting into that flat next door, they also did witchcraft. I'm not unaware of witchcraft. From a very young age, it was offered to me. I used to act. I was being offered the darkest roles. I was very quiet, introverted. I think I'm back there now. They're trying to pull me back there into a very dark space with everything they have. Because these goons who were hired against my life, they were called off the job in 2023 when I got into a relationship with someone else totally different. These goons went and interfered with my sexual health results, hacked my apps, presented that I had chlamydia, and I had to disclose it to my partner at the time. It totally destroyed our relationship. The advice they give is you have to be straight-faced. It's almost like you're unfeeling so that you can deliver the news. My guy at the time, if you know, you know. Alright, so my connection was disrupted. I'm going to make this a part 2.